In the modern landscape of the cyberspace, you need to get creative when it comes to promoting your brand or your product. And I want to introduce you to a lady who's on the front lines of innovation, a true pioneer, to promote her Onlyfans. Her name is Camilla, and she's been making headlines this week because of one very degenerate marketing strategy she had for her Onlyfans work. And every headline reporting this called her the girl from Mr. Beast's Squid Game, which was really baffling to me because I didn't recall there being like some kind of front and center superstar girl from the Mr. Beast Squid Games, so I looked into it, and apparently she had like a very brief appearance in that video, and a bunch of curious coomers looked her up praying she had an OnlyFans, and it kind of blew her up, and then eventually she answered all of their prayers by making the OnlyFans, and now her entire Instagram is dedicated to promotional material just for that. It's all her Instagram is. All she does is try and lead people to that content. A pretty interesting X-Men origin story for Camilla, and I can't help but notice some shades of familiarity between her story and mine. As all of you know, I was front and center of the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 with my iconic performance as District 8 hospital helper, and that experience helped elevate and propel my presence online. Very similar to her start. However, our paths diverged, whereas she went to showing her butthole, I went to talking about butthole. So on the forked road, we went our separate ways. And now she's making some weird choices when it comes to how she promotes her OnlyFans. So the one that got her in a lot of hot water is this one.
How does it feel to have a sister that has an OF?
My friends always ask me if it's pink, but I don't really know what they mean by that.
NANI?
Do you know?
Jesus Christ. Click the link in my bio. I can't.
It should be pretty obvious why this was disturbing and upsetting for most people. She's using her brother, who is a child, to promote her OnlyFans content. That is some twisted shit. So she has him say that his friends tease him and ask if it's pink, which is talking about her vagina. So she feeds him that line to say, asking about her beef curtains, so that way she can pretend to be shocked that he said it. And of course this is all complete with the Zoomer editing stock sound effect package, so there's constant fucking sound effects and jingling keys going off on every single action, which is beyond annoying. But it's just so weird to use a kid, your own brother, to promote your OnlyFans, and then have him say something about your pussy. Or rather, his friends say something about your pussy. It's so gross. And she just keeps doing it too, diving deeper and deeper into this unhinged lunacy, using her family as her main method of OnlyFans promotion. So she's brought on her cousins, apparently her grandparents too, though that one, there's a bit of a conspiracy there and we'll get to it. And she's used her brother in another follow-up video once this one blew up, once again trying to capitalize off it.
So this tweet's going viral on Twitter right now, so I figured I'd call my brother and just check on him, see how he's doing. It's not looking too good, so.
Honestly, I don't even want to fucking hear from you anymore. I'm blowing up on Twitter.
Bro.
I'm fighting for my life on my group chat, and so I better see myself in Disneyland by tonight, alright? I fucking hate you.
Click the link in my bio so I can take him to Disney. Bro, is he like actually gonna...
I actually feel really bad for the kid here because I do think there absolutely is some level of bullying that's probably happened to him as a result of that video blowing up. And it's not like he wanted to be the marketing mascot for his sister's OnlyFans content. That's just her depraved idea. And she's doing it again here, double dipping with this awful fucking idea of using her brother for OnlyFans promotion. I don't know who could ever think it's a good idea to have a child advertise porn for them. Like, there's no way that's legal. That's probably like actually a crime. That's probably illegal. I don't know if she does like full nudity and like full porn or anything like that, but even still, that there's still no way that it's legal to have a child advertise potentially sexually explicit material. Like, there's just no way that that's allowed.
What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you since your, older cousin does OF?
One of my brother's older friends showed me a picture of something you posted.
NANI?
How did that make you feel?
Just awkward at the moment.
Do you still love me?
Yes.
Love you.
She does a couple of these interviews with her family about her doing OnlyFans, Like, hey, how weird's it been now that I'm out here doing OnlyFans, right? Like, isn't that kind of pretty wacky, huh? Any stories to tell? And they're like, well, yeah, I mean, some people make jokes about it and, you know, send some mean shit in a group chat. And she's like, oh, haha, but you still love me, right? And they're like, I mean, yeah, I guess. So I don't know why she thinks this is good advertising. It's just really uncomfortable. It's one thing to have a family that's totally supportive and okay with you doing that kind of content, and a totally different thing to bring them on camera and then ask them deep questions about OnlyFans and like, oh, well, what have you seen from my OnlyFans and what are people saying about my OnlyFans, you know, relative, huh? Like, that's just weird. It's super weird.
What's the craziest reaction you've gotten from your older cousin having an OF?
People send me things in my group chat, like TikToks.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like really awkward and weird.
Are you embarrassed?
I don't even know. It's just like when they send it, it's like, whatever.
Do you still love me?
Yeah.
I just don't understand why you'd ever want to not only ask your cousin these kind of questions, but then film it and then use it for marketing material for your OnlyFans. It just doesn't make sense. Why do you want them to talk about you being naked on OnlyFans? That's your cousin. I don't know. That is just really yucky. Like, this whole idea she's running with here about bringing all of her family into her OnlyFans ads is so fucked up.
What's the freakiest thing you guys have ever done?
Well, the Chevy was,
Grandma! Earl! Grandma, you used to get...
And now this is where the tinfoil hat's coming on. So she calls them grandma in the video, and the caption says grandma and grandpa. So we're led to believe these are her grandparents that she's doing this very goofy, uncomfortable interview with here about their sexual escapades, you know. Grandma, Grandpa, when's the last time you two steamed ham, huh? When was the last time you did a little bedroom rodeo? And then she's like, oh, you used to get down and dirty, Grandma? Oh my goodness, why I never. Heavens to Betsy. And yeah, that's goofy, cringy kind of stuff, but it's not nearly as weird as having them turn around and just start plugging your OnlyFans. But then things take like a very sinister, incestual turn.
If you had 15 minutes with me, what would you do?
Always been curious what it'd be like to be with a woman.
If you had 15 minutes with me, what would you do?
well, you know,
And then she also has one where she does kiss or slap game with Grandmammy. Old Meemaw, would you rather kiss or slap her granddaughter's ass? It's so fucked up. So, the conspiracy is those aren't her real grandparents. They're just actors. And I think that's probably the case. I can't imagine she would just go into incest proudly like this. That would be truly off the rails. So I imagine that they're actors. Which then begs the question, why? Why do this? It's still so creepy. Now, I'm pretty sure those are actors, but I don't think her cousins were, and I don't think her brother is. Like, I don't think you'd be able to hire a child to promote your sexually explicit material. That would 100% be beyond illegal. Like, she would be thrown in jail for that shit, I imagine, like, on the spot. So that's probably her real family there, but then she used her grandparents to continue doing this family OnlyFans kind of push, which is... it's so weird. Why would you want your family pushing your OnlyFans? And then, even bigger question, why would you want your child brother pushing your OnlyFans? This whole thing from Camilla is horrifying. It's so fucked up. It's so weird. So all of like the backlash she received isn't surprising, and she's still going. She's still doing this kind of shit. Like, these videos aren't that old at all. It's still continuously developing. Like, she is still engaged in this kind of content and these kind of marketing pushes. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you because this is just a really creepy situation that I thought was just fucking weird. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Having a healthy family dynamic is extremely important in raising a child. Having a good relationship between parents and children is probably the most impactful thing to someone growing up. And that's not groundbreaking new information here. You know, this isn't like an episode of Rugrats where I'm coming at you like Dr. Lipschitz here, dropping all of this wisdom about raising children. Everyone knows this. If your parents come home from work every day and crack open a cold brewski, kick sand in your face, and call you mean names like dweeb and tell you you're ugly, it's just not an optimal environment to be raised in. And you know what else is an awful environment to be raised in? The household of this Sopranos actress. There's an actress named Drea De Matteo who just went. I'm sorry if I butchered her name. I haven't seen The Sopranos. Sue me. Sorry. I know it's like one of the most beloved television series of all time. I haven't seen it yet. But this actress from The Sopranos went on a podcast and she mentioned that she lets her 13-year-old son edit some of her OnlyFans photos. Did you hear Drea De Matteo from The Sopranos just admitted that her 13-year-old son edits her OnlyFans photos? Your phrasing of that really isn't indicative of how she talked about it. She was proud of it, as if it was a normal thing. Yeah, I did see that. Here, I'll pull it up for you. She was on like a podcast and was talking about her OnlyFans work, and the question came up about like her 13-year-old like working for her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, no, he edits my OnlyFans photos, so let's come talk to me about like, Mom, what do you want me to do about this bikini line?" And of course, I don't let him see any of the other girl stuff or whatever.
Queen.
You're doing girl-on-girl collabs.
Yes, because
we are switching this pot up. Okay, let's get
Blackjack in Alabama. My kids are out there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry,
wait,
but they know.
They know who their
Before
mama
you
is.
start, your son was outside saying he edits your OnlyFans photos.
Oh yeah.
That is
He's like,
demented.
What do you want me to do with the bikini line here?
Yeah.
That is just demented. The shamelessness is crazy. I don't know how that's not like a crime. Doesn't that have to be some kind of like... I guess I don't know what OnlyFans content she's talking about. But like if a 13-year-old is editing pornographic content, that has gotta be illegal.
So you don't have to apologize to them, I don't think.
No,
I love
but they
it.
don't see the girl shot.
I also cannot believe the response from these two. He's acting like this is some kind of normal thing. Like, I remember when I was a 13-year-old boy and my mom came up to me and said, "Hey son, you want to make a couple quarters this summer? Edit my porn." And I said, "All right. Simple blue-collar work. Put some hair on your chest." And then she says that she loves it. That's unhinged.
But I do go over that with them before I ever put them out. I was like, "Are you okay with this?" Because it's like if I were to do it in a movie, because I would make out with girls in movies all day long before
What
I'd even make out with
movies are
boys.
Names but really I think the same
Download
way
for the plane?
the same way that you tell to have these conversations with your kids, I think you need to call me before you do it. Also,
Torch Queen.
So I haven't seen the full clip or anything. This guy seems kind of creepy. But this whole thing is absurd. So she's saying like, "Oh yeah, I'd make out with girls all the time in movies, you know." So I check with my son to make sure it's okay. Like, what? Having a 13-year-old edit your OnlyFans content has to be illegal. Like, I don't understand how in her rotted brain she thinks that those two things are comparable, where her making out with like other women on screen is somehow like even in the same ballpark as having your 13-year-old son edit your OnlyFans photos. Like in those movies or whatever where you'd be making out with other actresses, your son is not on the director's staff telling you to do it or editing the content. It's fucking gross. I don't know anything about this lady at all. All I know is that's some shit that should earn you a one-way trip to the Slammer. I checked out her OnlyFans out of curiosity. She doesn't do nudes, but it's obviously still sexual content. Okay. Curiosity got the best of you. Did you pay for it? That's big investigative journalism. But it still doesn't change anything. Even if it's still not nude, editing sexual content is... having a 13-year-old edit your sexual content is absolutely foul. Her kids should unionize. That's so true. "I won't use any more Photoshop on my mom's titties until we're paid a fair wage. Give us 10,000 more V-Bucks." Hell no, I didn't pay. I just found an archive of her OnlyFans content with all her photos and videos. Sure you did. She is full-blown loopy off that poopy. That is deranged. Even if she's not doing full nude content or full-blown porn, having a child edit any kind of sexual content is outrageous. I do not know how she is not in handcuffs from admitting that. I also decided to watch a little more of the podcast, and it doesn't really get touched on again. They kind of just gloss over that, even though that shit sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, I don't know how that wasn't pushed back on by the two other people there. They seemed very supportive of that statement, which is gross. But I decided to also look into a little bit more about this actress. And this is what she had to say about doing OnlyFans. According to her, she initially wanted to launch it as a podcast hosted with her boyfriend that focused on politics and current affairs, saying, quote, we wanted to do it there because it wouldn't be censored and everything was being censored. We have no freedom of speech anymore. And then she started doing steamy content, and even though she's not doing full frontal nudity or X-rated scenes, she has come to regard her OnlyFans work as a political statement. I had to give myself the narrative that this is the only way I can fight for my freedom right now, and that's basically to be naked. To be naked with my beliefs and my politics and what I want for my kids' future. And I think that people are so afraid right now to speak their minds. What kind of hullabaloo are you going on here? This is a buzzword after buzzword. What do you mean? To be naked with your beliefs and politics and what you want for your kid's future? Do you want your kid's future to be endlessly bullied? Like, your kid's future right now is a porn editor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Crazy lady, snap back to reality. You started OnlyFans because you stopped being able to land any kind of meaningful Hollywood roles. Your kid's future was not top of mind when you started doing OnlyFans content and then hired them as your editor on staff. And I'm using the word hire super loosely because I bet she doesn't pay the 13-year-old. Maybe she does. I don't know, some kind of allowance or some shit. I have no clue. But this is so disgusting. And what's even crazier is this isn't the only time I've heard of this. There was a video that went viral like a year and a half ago about a mother whose daughter was editing her OnlyFans content for her and even directing and taking photos for the mother for her OnlyFans content. That's so fucked up. I don't know how it's happened not once but twice now. Like, it makes no sense to me. How delusional can you possibly be to try and spin this as some kind of wholesome fight the power narrative here? Like, how can you in any way look at this as anything positive? Like, what fucking statement are you making about being naked or doing whatever sexual content you do on OnlyFans? Even though she says that this is her way of, you know, getting back to get naked. That was her words. So does she get naked on OnlyFans? I don't really know. But what is confirmed is that she has a 13-year-old edit some of the content for her. That's fucking crazy. That is a lunatic right there. Like, what is the political statement you're making? Child labor, 2 thumbs way up? Like, what? Children should be able to edit sexual content? Like, what statement are you making, weirdo? It's so fucking odd. Alright, listen, son. Mommy's gonna go get finger banged on camera. I'll make sure to write down timestamps for you to highlight the best moments for OnlyFans for the montage. I feel so bad for her son here. I feel so bad for the kid in this situation. But yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. It's another brain-rotted Hollywood celebrity doing gross shit. That's about it. See ya. Yeah, I've got COVID again. This makes number 5 for me. I'm the Michael Jordan of COVID. Pretty much anytime I go to like an event, I'm guaranteed to get COVID, it seems. It's really infuriating. I'm the faker of getting COVID. I was even considering doing a tier list for all of my experiences with it so far, but we'll see. The only reason I mention that is because I'm going to sound congested here. My voice might also start cracking, but I don't really feel like editing all that much, so I'll probably just leave it in. Just know it's not a second puberty or anything. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this trend. Maybe? I don't know. I only just learned about it today, but it's been going on for about a month, where OnlyFans creators are putting AI Down syndrome filters on their content to try and drive more clicks to their OnlyFans. I took the audio out because of DMCA, but they're all exactly the same, where it's hypersexual, like my pussy doesn't have Down syndrome or whatever, and then ChatGPT captions to accompany it. There are so many accounts and so many examples to pull from. We'll get into some notorious ones in a minute, but in some cases it's the management teams that are doing this, where they're taking their creators and then making like a separate account for them where it's all AI Down syndrome filters on the content to link back to the other OnlyFans. So it's a tactic to try and drum up more clicks to it. I can't exactly find the genesis of this, what started the trend, but it goes back about a month ago from what I can tell, and it is blown up. There are so many of these, and there's a lot of articles being written about it now about the fetishization of Down syndrome and also just using AI to pretend that these OnlyFans creators have disabilities to try and get more people to their OnlyFans. It's fucking weird. There are so many like this one here where it's not even close to being convincing. You can actually just see the filter fall off anytime she turns around. So like right there, you can see the filter snap back to her face. And every single one of these always has very similar captions that are clearly just AI generated, talking about like, the label doesn't define this and that. And then it goes into the most hyper-sexualized shit ever, like, just because I have Down syndrome doesn't mean I can't go down on your fucking nutsack and suck the piss out of your balls. I will literally suck the cum out like Shang Tsung extracting a soul. And then they all link to an OnlyFans. Now, on that OnlyFans, I don't know if they continue to keep up the ruse that they have a disability. Like, if they continue to just do, like, the AI filters and all of that. But there is a YouTuber who did pay for some of them. His name is Tuv. He did a whole investigation on this and a couple of other things that stem from it. According to him, in most cases of his research, they weren't showing their face, or they'd hide it behind like their phone when they took a picture or something like that. Now, another thing, a lot of these accounts have started to be aware of the fact that you can sometimes see the AI filter glitch when the video has them like turn around when dancing or whatever. So a lot of them are also now starting to only do front-facing stuff, because then the filter isn't prone to glitching as much, which makes it harder to tell if it's fake. So it seems like they're trying to perfect the art of faking disabilities using AI. Now, in some cases, there's been degenerate, loveless weirdos that should be launched into space that are taking people's videos and then putting the AI Down syndrome filter on them to try and make money off it without that person even knowing it was going on. I know in one case there was a TikToker who had her dance videos taken by one of these fucking lobotomites, and he just put the Down syndrome filter on it. She had no idea, didn't sign off on it at all, and was very appalled by it. So that does happen, but I do also think this is a new tactic being used by OnlyFans creators as well as management teams to try and get more clicks to OnlyFans through pretending to have disabilities and shit like that. Like, here's an example of one that I have no idea if the person in the video knows that this is going on or if it's something they signed off on themselves. But it's a little person with the Down syndrome filter on their face. They have the F-, fucking book report captions that are all just AI generated. It's verbatim the same shit that other people doing this trend are just copying. It is one-to-one, just the same nomenclature and everything. And also, of course, it's always sexualized and always trying to link to OnlyFans accounts and shit. By the way, apparently this combination of being a little person with Down syndrome has only ever been reported 6 times. And the bio for this account says that they're one of 7, claiming that they're the 7th case. Faking disabilities is nothing new. AI's just made it far easier for any goober on the planet to try this. And it's not just the Down syndrome filter that they're using here. They're also doing it for fake amputees and shit like that. That's another really popular one. This is the actual golden age of degeneracy, because all of these fucking weirdos can do this easily now. AI is currently unleashing the infinite Tsukiyomi upon this planet, trapping us in an endless nightmare of degeneracy. They can just keep making all of this fetish content, all of this fake fetish content shit forever. Now, again, I don't know if the OnlyFans creators, like the little person there or any of the other ones engaging in this, are actually even aware that it's happening, or if it is just third parties or maybe even their managers that are doing it without them knowing. Couldn't tell you, but either way, it is fucking gross. It is crazy that we've reached the point where we're just using AI to fake Down syndrome so more people will click on the OnlyFans and spend money on it. What the fuck? Anyway, I guess just for a tiddlywink of lore, from what I can tell, this was the first fake Down syndrome video that really popped off and blew up the trend, as well as this one right here was another extremely successful one. So I guess this would maybe be the genesis of it. And now there is thousands, specifically about Down syndrome, all faked AI hypersexualizations and fetishizations of Down syndrome. It is absurd. It's fucking preposterous. Like I mentioned, it's not just Down syndrome, but that is the most popular one right now. It is all kinds of other disabilities that they're faking for OnlyFans revenue. Fucking crazy stuff. Just wanted to talk about that a bit. That's it. See ya. Did you think the video was frozen? I bet you did, you gullible idiot. Your weakness offends me. Me blowing a raspberry right there may have even startled you, and if that's the case, you absolutely make me sick, you fool. Let this be an important lesson to you. Don't trust anything, not even yourself. Your eyes told you one thing, but the truth was very different. They played a trick on you, those lying bastards. So stay alert, stay vigilant, stay safe. But anyway, the video might not be frozen, but I certainly was frozen in disbelief at the picture I looked at earlier today, and that disbelief soon turned to disgust as I cannonballed into a never-ending rabbit hole of degeneracy. And I thought it was interesting, so I figured, let's talk about it. So Ruby Rose is a very popular individual right now, and she posted this on Twitter today. I ran into my #1 spender on Onlyfans, and we are blessed with two magnificent pictures here. On the left, it is Ruby Rose posing with her #1 piggy bank dumper. Now let's turn our attention to Exhibit B and we can get the statistics. So he has been subscribed to her OnlyFans for a month and has spent a total of $62,000. 62,000 clams. Now if I may for a moment, I'm going to channel my inner method actor here and do an impression for you. This is his financial advisor upon checking his credit card statements. Thank you very much. I'm the next Jim Carrey, what can I say? 62,000 doubloons he has spent in presumably 1 month on her OnlyFans, I think. I think that's how it works. I don't know if you can spend money on someone's OnlyFans without also being subscribed. So I think he is speed running bankruptcy through OnlyFans purchases. Man's making George Santos look like a small fry. This is wildness. Now let's go back to just the tweet itself. I ran into my #1 spender on OnlyFans. Miss Rose, I have breaking news. You did not just run into this guy by pure accident. This was not happenstance, a coincidence, a twist of fate. This man absolutely went out of his way to find you and run into you. So while it may have been an accident on your part, perhaps, that you happened to run into him, this was a calculated maneuver from him, I have no doubt. I can already just see him in the bathroom mirror doing his hands like this, scheming. Okay, I know where she's gonna be. Game time. I'll introduce myself. And then, at the end of the day, dude spends 62 grand and doesn't even get a hug in the picture. There is no contact between the two of them in this photograph there. She is still wisely keeping her distance from this guy. Not even like a hover hand or anything at all. But I'm not his dad or anything. I'm not gonna go over and slap the wiener out of his hand. If he wants to spend $62,000 on OnlyFans, all power to him. But you have to wonder, what does he do to be able to afford $62,000 on a single person's OnlyFans? So I tried to find the scoop, and I didn't have to search very long or very hard because people also were very curious and found a lot of information on him. So, allegedly, he is a crypto millionaire. He hit it big in the crypto boom, and that's where he got most of his money from, allegedly. I can't 100% confirm that, but... And then the most interesting discovery occurred up there with, like, finding the One Piece. They found out that this guy is most likely the same guy from MTV's True Life, I'm Addicted to Porn. And they found this image here. His shirt goes insano style, by the way. It says "Born for Porn," which I believe should just be a crime, like a charge, if you just wear that in general. But anyway, logically it made sense. Someone spending $62,000 on OnlyFans, a single OnlyFans model, is absolutely addicted to porn in some way. And it seems like, through this evidence, he may have been addicted to porn for quite a long time. So, I went to the archives. I went to watch the episode itself. Turns out it's on Hulu, Season 12, Episode 6 of True Life. His name is Brandon. He was 26 years old at the time of filming in 2009. So his meat has not known a night of peace in over a decade now. Since 2009, he has been non-stop playing the skin flute, a symphony to the tune of porn that never ends. The porn industry has got his scrotum in a death grip and it has not let go. Now, the True Life episode has Brandon talk about his addiction, and addiction in all of its forms is an extremely sad thing, and porn addiction is a legitimate illness. It's a real thing. And Brandon talks about how it's affected his real-life relationships, and also it's kind of led him to have this inability to focus on things that are important, like getting a job. There's like a little chunk of time dedicated to his job search, where he spends 30 minutes going through Craigslist looking for job listings, and then after 30 minutes, he just starts watching porn for 2 hours. And he says that he watches porn between 5 to 10 hours a day. 5 to 10 hours a day watching porn. That is an incomprehensibly outrageous amount of time to be dedicated to watching anything at all. It's so sad. And it doesn't seem like he's gotten any better considering how much he is spending on just one OnlyFans model. Now, I'm not big dumb idiot enough to believe everything MTV shows. A lot of it is probably fabricated, exaggerated, and all that. But it's worth mentioning at the end of the episode, things are looking up for Brandon. There's the big come to Jesus moment where he's like, you know what? Porn is a problem. It's gotta go. Time to scram. Get out of town. No more porn. Time to get my life together. And the episode ends with him getting a part-time job working at a bar. And I don't know if any of that was real or not, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed when it comes to Brandon's relationship with pornography, considering how much money he is currently spending on one OnlyFans model. It seems like the only thing that has improved for Brandon since that episode in 2009 is his financial situation. He was struggling to get a job then. I don't know if he has a job now, but he certainly does have a lot of disposable income, it appears. But anyway, as I mentioned, addiction in any of its forms is a horrible thing, so I do legitimately feel bad for him. And also, this isn't even where the rabbit hole ends on this guy. It also seems like he was friends with Juice WRLD. He recorded at least 2 videos like this, and it seems like they must have known each other, unless Brandon happened to have broken into Juice WRLD's place and then filmed these TikToks. I think they're TikToks. Obviously, this has nothing to do with the OnlyFans spending, but just another really weird tidbit of lore around this guy. But anyway, I think the important takeaway here is don't be like Brandon. Yes, he may have potentially hit it big with crypto, but it seems like the only things he's spending that money on is OnlyFans and I would assume other porn avenues. Like, that seems to be where all of that goes towards. I really don't know how long he can do that for. He is very much a porn addict. Even the shirt he's wearing in the picture with Ruby Rose says, "If I die, delete browser history." Porn has become his entire personality. Like, it's like his whole being. And that's just not healthy at all. But you know what is healthy? Helping others. So this holiday season, we're doing what we did last year at Mana, where we're raising money for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. Last year we raised over $110,000. It was an incredible series of streams that we did, and this year we're looking to do it again, but adding a few new things, such as these sticker packs. So this one's obviously me, this one is Jimmy here, and this is, of course, GB. So myself, GB, and Jimmy are doing Mana Impact, and raising money for the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, which is an organization that aims to alleviate the suffering caused from mental illnesses through awarding grants that will help lead to breakthrough research. And it's just an overall great organization. So again, if you're looking to help support in any way, there's a link in the description below, and $10 or more gets you the cute stickers. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that here at the end of the video. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. What you're about to see is going to make you upset. But I'm showing you this for your own good. For too long, you've lived in ignorance, burying your head in the sand, hiding in shadows, trying to avert your eyes from the truth. And now it's my job to drag you kicking and screaming into the light. OnlyFans. All of us have heard of it. This platform has blown up significantly over the last 2 years. It's become like the peanut butter and jelly of porn. Every single person has tried to make an OnlyFans at this point. But I don't think many people, myself included, realized how much money the top creators on OnlyFans are pulling in. Recently, Amaranth and Belle Delphine posted their OnlyFans earnings, and they are fucking shocking. Just look at this. Amaranth has pulled in 33.7 mil in total. Amaranth made more than the newest Matt Damon movie, and this was released worldwide. She's making on average $1.5 million a month. That's more than most professional athletes. People are spending money on Amaranth's OnlyFans like it's microtransactions in Diablo Immortal. This is like the Pokemon Go of porn. She's making so much money, and she doesn't do like fully nude photos or anything either. She basically posts shit that you see people post freely on Instagram, but she puts it behind a paywall. It's genius. I've said this for like 2 years now since OnlyFans blew up. It is the smartest hustle anyone can do because most of the top percent on OnlyFans don't even do like actual porn or nudity. It's fucking nuts. I think Amaranth only ever posted one fully topless picture and made $500,000 off that single picture. Just one photo of her titties made more money than the majority of people will ever see in their entire lives. Imagine if she did that once a week. Like one picture every week of her bare honkers, she'd probably outsell lottery tickets. And Belle Delphine's not far behind her. Her melons are also working overtime here, bringing in fat stacks of cash. She made right around $30 million here. This was a screenshot she posted in her most recent music video. And this one's actually a more thorough breakdown of where it comes from. So we can really analyze this. Clearly the bulk of it comes from subscriptions, 22.8 million just from subs. But then in second place at almost 7 million is messages. And then deeply in last place is tips at 240k. That was actually shocking to me. I assumed tips would be like the least lucrative, just because, you know, not many people are going to come around and just toss money into the piggy bank here for free and get nothing in return. But I still thought there'd be a lot more kind, gentle sirs that would just be donating to Milady for the sake of it. So that was actually really surprising to me that it's that far behind the rest. Now I want to briefly talk about messages there. So on OnlyFans, you can set it up so that way if people want to message you, they have to pay for it. Obviously a great way of farming a parasocial relationship and getting as much juice for the squeeze as you can from it. So with Belle Delphine here, we can see she's made like $6.9 million off of that, which is really fucking smart. So every message that someone is sending to her, they're putting money behind it. It's just like leaving behind a note, do you like me, circle yes or no, with a $200 attached to it. And I imagine like 98% of these messages go unanswered, so you just toss money at the void here, hoping to hear back. And then I imagine there's people that'll double, triple, even quadruple message, and all the while paying for each one. Like going to a payphone, but only ever getting the ringtone, if that payphone costs a lot more money. It's super smart, and I'm pretty sure that's how it works with messages that you can pay for. I think you can set it up so every single message is like paid, not just the first one, though I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's a massive moneymaker, clearly, and I really was blown away by these numbers. I knew OnlyFans creators at the top level were making a lot, but I didn't know it was 8 figures. I thought we were talking like mid 7 figures or something like that, but no, this is huge. And OnlyFans has only really blown up over the last 2 years. So this is like 15 mil a year between the two of them here. Hats off to them. And also I want to say, I never understand why people get mad at like Amaranth or Belle Delphine for doing OnlyFans, or really any woman for that matter. It's extremely smart. And like I said, the majority of them don't even do like nudity. They're basically just posting Instagram pictures, but people pay for them. It's like free money. It's an actual infinite money cheat code. I don't understand why people shame them for it. This is just a classic example of don't hate the player, hate the game. There's clearly tons of dudes out there willing to pay top dollar for shit most people get for free. And there's no reason not to hose them down for those doubloons. Like, again, they're not even really doing nudity or anything. They're just posting, like, shit you see all over Twitter for free, but behind a paywall and getting rewarded for it. I don't know what there is to get upset at them for. You can be mad at the dudes paying for it, I guess, if you want to, but I don't think it's healthy to be mad at them either. Like, why not just make your own OnlyFans? That's the perspective I had when I made my secret feet OnlyFans. I talked about this last year. I went incognito mode. I went undercover on OnlyFans and made a completely isolated OnlyFans, not associated with me at all, and it focused on my feet. So I posted pictures of my feet as well as a couple videos and hope to get a following and see how like difficult it is to actually go from 0 to top 1% of OnlyFans. So I'd promote it on like Twitter occasionally, and after about 8 or 9 months, I had 0 followers, 0 subscribers, whatever, nothing. Literally nothing. Radio silence, crickets. My feet OnlyFans was a colossal disaster, so much so that I'm never going to say the name of it because I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed. If it got really popular, I wouldn't have shut the fuck up about it. I would have been rubbing it in people's faces like, I told you my feet were cool, I knew I could do it, and then also make a point like, yeah, you can actually grow an OnlyFans pretty easily. But that wasn't the lesson I learned. I learned that my feet are probably ugly, and it's not easy to grow an OnlyFans without already being established online somewhere. So I got a little lost in the sauce there. The point is, I have nothing but respect for the grind. Clearly it's paying off. Also, one OnlyFans creator dwarfs their earnings by a lot. Danielle Bergoli, Bad Baby. She has made $50 million on OnlyFans. The day she turned 18, she started an OnlyFans and made $50 million. That is so, well, A, creepy for the people that were like literally counting down the minutes till midnight for her to turn 18 and subscribe to her OnlyFans. And B, fucking wild how much money there is on the OnlyFans platform for people. That's so nuts. That is actual insanity. I really do wonder how much the #1 male earning OnlyFans creator is pulling in, because I have to imagine it's nowhere near these numbers. It's probably not even in the same ballpark. Dude's probably made like $80 on it. Like, I have no idea, because I feel like 99% of every user on OnlyFans are guys who went there specifically to sign up to one person's OnlyFans that they found on Twitter. Like, if you go to pretty much any comment thread on Twitter, could be about anything, like, hey, good news, just published my newest book, and then the comments will be like, yeah, but I just published this new shit on OnlyFans. Like, any profile you click on Twitter is going to have a link to their OnlyFans, and I feel like the majority of users on OnlyFans are these people, these desperate people that found them through Twitter or whatever, and just followed them to OnlyFans and signed up, and then are like desperately paying to toss messages at them or get their attention somehow. Like, I don't think there's a massive organic audience that goes like through a bunch of different OnlyFans. I feel like they go there specifically for individuals that they've found online or have already followed in the past. I don't think there's a massive market on OnlyFans for male creators. At least I don't think so. I'm just talking out of my ass here because I have no data to back it up. I haven't seen any male OnlyFans creators post these kinds of screenshots to talk about their earnings. I obviously know some of them do well for themselves. Like, I know Tyga has his own OnlyFans that actually does decently for itself. But even there, I don't know how much that's making compared to these. It's definitely significantly less, if I had to guess. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I found the topic super interesting, because this is just pulling back the curtain on something I think a lot of us wanted to know, which is how much the OnlyFans top level are pulling in. And it's way, way more than I thought, and probably most of you watching expected as well. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. It was only a few days ago that the world looked on in shock and horror as OnlyFans announced it would be banning any sexually explicit content. Pornography would no longer be allowed on the platform. With tears in our eyes and a soft cock in our hands, we knew it was time to move on. And move on most people did. Thousands and thousands of people abandoned OnlyFans after the announcement of the pornography ban. And I think it was 5,000 new applications per hour were being submitted to competitors' websites like Fansly and shit like that. OnlyFans did the unthinkable. They put a shotgun in their ass and pulled the trigger. They committed suicide on the big stage. I think this will go down as one of the dumbest decisions any company has ever made in the history of shitty company decisions. OnlyFans will be talked about in the same sentence as Blockbuster and Tumblr. It was the most predictable outcome ever. If you ban the only thing people go to your site for, you're obviously not going to have those people go to your platform anymore. OnlyFans banning porn is like Steam banning video games. It's nonsensical and it kills it on the spot. There's just no universe where OnlyFans is able to pivot away from porn and become some kind of wholesome, family-friendly platform where old Meemaw's got an OnlyFans for her shuffleboard team for exclusive content. That's just not going to happen. No one's ever going to really use that as a main platform for cooking, sewing, sports and fitness like they were claiming it would be. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and in 5 years we can look back at this video and point and laugh at how stupid I was to say that, but I just can't imagine OnlyFans will ever be able to get rid of its identity as an adult platform. That is what it is built upon, and that is what it has become. And now today, in the most predictable backpedal of all time, OnlyFans announced that they made a mistake and will no longer be banning sexually explicit content. Who could have seen that coming? Now, before I really spread apart those ass cheeks and dive into the big story, I just want to say, I was right. I fucking told you so. I'm gonna Gangnam Style on you real quick and wiggle my finger, letting you know I told you so. A lot of people said I was wrong and OnlyFans was never actually banning explicit content. They were only banning illegal porn, such as bestiality and incest and shit like that. but that's not the case. They did a blanket ban on all sexually explicit content. That was their plan, and they changed their acceptable use policy to reflect that. It seems no one actually read the acceptable use policy but me, so I want to share that with you now. Keep in mind this has changed, but when they announced porn would be banned, this is what they had in their policy. According to the new acceptable use terms, users would no longer be allowed to upload, post, or display content on OnlyFans that shows or promotes, advertises, or refers to sexually explicit conduct, which means no actual or simulated sexual intercourse, including genital to genital, oral to genital, anal to genital, or oral anal, between persons of any sex. No actual or simulated masturbation, any exhibition of the anus or genitals of any person which is extreme or offensive, or any actual or simulated material depicting bodily fluids commonly secreted during sex. They were doing a ban on actual pornography. It wasn't just illegal shit, it was any kind at all. Basically, with their new rules, had these gone through, it would have been only allowed to have solo images of you, just kind of like as an artful anatomical nude photo. That's about it. Like, let's say you were the Mona Lisa and your titties were out, that's fine. As long as those titties weren't honking milkers with a little bit of sweat on them or something, because that would fall under the bodily fluids and that would be banned. Or at the very least, it was vague enough that it would fall into that category. Same with depictions of the genitals that's extreme or offensive. Like, how do you even enforce that? The lines between the extreme and offensive would constantly be being blurred. Obviously, you'd have your outliers. Like, if 2 Girls, 1 Cup was on OnlyFans, that'd probably fall into the extreme category. But, like, if I just have a picture of my nutsack, I mean, that's kind of casual and playful, right? But I guess you could make an argument that it's extreme because it'd be like a close-up of my nutsack. But it's not like I'd be dipping it in candle wax or anything. So, I don't know. It'd just be very vague. So everything that was sexually explicit could fall into any of these categories and get you banned. So yeah, just wanted to prove that it really was a full Weenie Hut Jr. mode they were going with OnlyFans. It was a complete gutting of the adult content on their platform. So all the people that were spreading the rumors about it only being illegal content, that is just blatantly wrong. Now, of course, all of this came from payment providers pressuring OnlyFans to clean it up. And today they announced that, well, there's no reason to even have payment providers if there's no one to pay. Everyone fucking left OnlyFans. OnlyFans basically ran into a movie theater shouting fire and then were surprised when everyone left. And now they're desperate, scratching at their neck, worried about how much money they've lost now. And they're just trying everything. Please, God, come back. We're going to allow porn. We want to see your butthole. We support you, sex workers. Please, we mean it. Just look at our tweet. I love that this tweet starts with thank you to everyone for making your voices heard. It almost makes it sound like they didn't expect this to happen. Like if someone's boss just walks in and fires the entire office, I think they would expect most of the office workers to be upset. If I go and slash a guy's tires, I would think he'd be mad at me. I don't know what the fuck OnlyFans expected here. We have secured assurances necessary to support our diverse creator community and have suspended the planned October 1st policy change. That was the porn ban. OnlyFans stands for inclusion, and we will continue to provide a home for all creators. That's a broken household right there. That's an abusive home right there. That's the kind of home you go to and dad comes home drunk and starts beating you up for your lunch money and then kicks you out. That is not a home I think many people want to be in anymore. Most people are only using it temporarily before they make the full switch to other platforms, and the ones that did go back are doing it in conjunction with the other platforms because they don't trust OnlyFans anymore. And for good reason. OnlyFans tried its best to jump off a bridge to kill itself, but then everyone tried their best to bring it back in. Like, it's horrible. It's a very untrustworthy platform. Out of nowhere, they decide they're going to ban the only thing their platform is used for, and then out of nowhere, they say, okay, actually, we're fine now. Like, how the fuck did you solve the problem? So they kept saying it's pressure from the banks. The banks are forcing this. We have to do this. There's nothing we can do. And now today, it's like, hey, actually, no, we're good. No, we're totally good. We can have porn back. Fuck it. You know what? Christmas has come early. We want to see you spread your pussy again. Bring it on back to OnlyFans, baby. So what changed? And how? They don't communicate any of this. They're not a very trustworthy platform, obviously. So it makes sense why most people don't want to go back to it. I really am curious how they solved this problem, because the way they talked about it made it sound like OnlyFans was truly defenseless against the banks. Which does make sense. Banks hold a lot of power. If you're not able to process payments on your platform, it's probably not going to last much longer. Like, what are they supposed to do? If someone signs up to someone's OnlyFans, they just put $5 into an envelope and mail it to OnlyFans HQ? So it's absolutely like a real problem if the banks were forcing OnlyFans to make these changes, but the way that they were able to immediately reverse it today sounds like they may not have been as strict as OnlyFans led them to believe. And keep in mind, OnlyFans really wanted some investors from everything I read, so who knows? I'm not going to put on the tinfoil condom here, I'm not going to get into conspiracies. But I just wonder how they were able to strong-arm the banks so quickly into allowing porn back on the site. Really makes me wonder if it was ever necessary in the first place. Who knows, it also could have been a case of maybe the CEO was getting nostalgic. He was scrolling through all the creators on the platform. He saw big puffy nipples, massive areolas, titties, pussy, ass, cock, balls, everything. And he just started to get this sinking feeling in his stomach like, what have I done? This is all gonna vanish and it's because of me. Like that moment when they invented the nuke after the Manhattan Project and shit. Now I am become death. OnlyFans CEO had one of those moments. He's like, I can't do it. I'm not pulling the trigger. Revert it. We need it back. I don't care what the banks say. This is for me now. God damn it. It's a passion project. So then he just green lights porn back on here without the banks ever saying it's okay. Anything's possible. All I can say is this was the dumbest decision I've ever seen a company make. Right up there with Tumblr banning porn. But this one was even stupider because this is a porn platform banning porn. So yeah, just a really shitty decision, and it completely fucked their platform, and probably will continue to fuck their platform even though they've reversed it now. They've proven they're an untrustworthy site, and most people are pretty fed up with that. Just wanted to talk about this again because this story is continuing to be a wild and wacky ride. That's about it. See ya. For a few months now, there's been these rumors circulating online that OnlyFans was going to ban porn on their platform, but I don't think many people took that seriously or believed them. They were treated like flat earthers with this wild conspiracy because it's such a dumb, wild idea that it just seems impossible. OnlyFans banning pornography would be like skydiving schools banning parachutes. It just immediately kills the entire business. And kills people. People are literally going to be dying from overload of nut buildup in their sack because OnlyFans actually did it. They banned porn. Now, the rumors weren't 100% accurate, but they were pretty close. Today, OnlyFans came out and said that after October 1st, sexually explicit content will no longer be welcomed on their site. October 1st is right around the corner, so doomsday is approaching. The apocalypse is on its way. Perhaps this is what the Mayan calendar was trying to predict but got it wrong with 2012. Maybe this is what they meant. Armageddon is coming. Now, OnlyFans continued to elaborate a bit further, saying creators will continue to be allowed to post content containing nudity as long as it's consistent with our acceptable use policy. This is where I got a little confused. So they're confirming you can still have your titties out and maybe even goatseeing yourself in short videos, but you can no longer cross the threshold into sexually explicit content. But how do you distinguish what's what? Like, what is an artful ass spread versus a pornographic asshole spread? Is it going to be like Key and Peele where they look for 3 pumps? If you pump 3 times, that's a fucking penalty and you're off OnlyFans? Or is it only if it's like multiple people and actually engaging in sexual activity? I couldn't really find anything that detailed what's going to separate those. So right now there's still a bit of confusion in the community, but this is a developing story. It is actually just 10 minutes old as of making this. So I imagine these questions will be answered at some point within the next week or so. But for now, I'm just left with my dick in my hand wondering what's next. The more I think about it, the more confused I get. Like, the deeper into the weeds I go, the more lost I become. So does it only mean, like, if multiple people are in an OnlyFans post, like if they're actually having sex, that's bannable. But if you're alone taking nude photos and videos, that's okay? Even if you're putting like a dildo in and out of your pussy and butthole and mouth? Is that not sexually explicit because you're alone doing that? And if so, where does that mean anytime there's multiple people in an OnlyFans post and they're naked, it is automatically bannable? Because there's a video where someone puts a golf ball into a girl's open gaping butthole. Is that bannable, or is that like more of like an artful athletic thing by OnlyFans definitions? Now, I don't know. It's just hard for me to really understand because they haven't clearly defined what is and is not going to be allowed. Now, one thing I've seen a few people and quite a few outlets mention is that OnlyFans isn't only about porn, and in fact, recently it's been focused on fitness, sports, gaming, music, and cooking. And I have to say, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you think OnlyFans is a platform that's mainly about shit like cooking, you need to be admitted to Arkham Asylum ASAP because you are clinically insane. OnlyFans is, if someone says I'm subscribed to Gordon Ramsay's OnlyFans, I'm not expecting to go on there and find recipes. I'm going on there hoping to see Gordon's wiener. Like, it's no one hears OnlyFans and it's like, oh, in fact, my favorite athlete's on there. He was teaching me how to hit a baseball better. Oh, I need to go check in on Jose Canseco's OnlyFans so he can show me where Bigfoot's hiding. I understand there's other content on there that's not adult-oriented, but that is not the bulk of it. OnlyFans is mainly a platform that people recognize for its adult content. So all of these people that are delusionally stating absolute nonsense like OnlyFans isn't going to be hurt by this, in fact, it's only going to help them because adult content isn't the bulk of the platform. You're wrong. You're just absolutely wrong. OnlyFans is synonymous with pornography and sexually explicit content, and it has been for a long time now. I have absolutely no problem with OnlyFans, as I've said multiple times. I think it's actually a really healthy platform because it gives people their own power to create the content on their own and make money off it instead of having to rely on some kind of shady adult company that takes advantage of them or does some really fucking awful, sketchy things behind the scenes. They don't have to engage with that kind of company. They can take that power for themselves and do it through OnlyFans. At least they could until now. So yeah, obviously a lot of sex workers are now pretty upset about this because now it's back to going to these awful fucking companies as opposed to doing it themselves in a healthy, safe way on OnlyFans because that's been taken from them. Now apparently this decision came from pressure from banks on OnlyFans. I also understand OnlyFans was having a hard time getting investors interested in the platform because it has porn on it. But I still don't, they don't need investors. They made fucking $5 billion last year? I already forgot the number, but they're making astronomical loads of money. I personally don't really get the decision to fold to this kind of pressure, but I also don't own OnlyFans. I just have a page on there with 0 followers and a couple of foot videos I made undercover. So I don't really have a huge horse in this race, but it is still baffling to me that a platform would do something so counterintuitive to its own success. It's like when Tumblr killed itself with its porn ban. OnlyFans saw the shit-covered path Tumblr went down and decided not only to go down the same path, but to fucking belly slide like a penguin down it with their mouth open just eating all of this shit and do exactly what Tumblr did by banning the main thing people go to the platform for. Nobody really uses Tumblr anymore, and I imagine OnlyFans is going to take a big hit. I don't think this is going to kill OnlyFans immediately, but it's going to really start to bleed it out. There's a lot of room for competition now since this ban has come into place, and since they haven't fully pulled the trigger on getting rid of everything adult-oriented, they still allow nude photos and I guess nude videos as long as it's not pornographic or sexually explicit. I'm not really sure. Then I'm assuming they will still have some of their audience, but it's going to absolutely drive a lot of creators off the platform. There's no doubt about that. I do wonder how long they'll allow nudity on the platform for, since they seem to be going Weenie Hut Jr. route here and making it about cooking, sports, and fitness for some reason. I can't imagine that nudity will be welcomed on there too much longer since they've already taken this huge first drastic step. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe OnlyFans really will pivot from a porn platform to a place to get just some wonderful Thanksgiving recipes. I'll have to maybe recommend some OnlyFans creators to my mom. Who knows? Maybe that's what's right around the corner for the future of OnlyFans. But anyway, that's about it. See ya.